These are the 3 best lower body exercises for men over 40, and I'm also gonna give you the 3 worst. Here's the thing, when it comes to being older, typically you have more wear and tear, whether that be on your knees, on your hips, and you wanna make sure that the exercises you are doing are properly aligned with your joints and your joint health. All right, so for that reason, I'm gonna give you 3 specific exercises that are probably 3 of my worst first, and then we're gonna go into 3 alternatives. All right, the very first one we're gonna talk about is a forward lunge. Now, I like lunges. If you watched a lot of my videos, you know I like to incorporate lunges because it gives you that unilateral perspective to your leg work. You work each side independently and the same, all right? So that's a benefit of doing lunges. Now, the forward lunge though, stepping forward tends to place more shearing on your knee. That's one of the things I don't like about that. It's also hard to keep your knee vertically stacked above your foot because you're just shooting yourself forward. You're throwing your front foot forward and you're coming down. Another thing that can cause is either a misstep or imbalance. If you do that, you can actually injure your knee if you twist it or rotate it in a manner that can put more stress on that meniscus. So for that reason, I would rather you not do a forward lunge. So yes, forward being the key word there, because I do love the reverse lunge. So the reverse lunge, you actually step back. So that's gonna give you more control as to how far back you step or how shallow back you step. All right, and then also your foot stays planted. You're not throwing it forward. You are actually keeping it in a fixed position and you're bringing your other leg back. Now, the key benefit to doing a lunge this way is not only you get more stability and better balance, but you don't get that knee shearing either. And then you could also adjust the depth that you step back. So for instance, we talked about that shallow step back. If you step back, in a shallow position, you can place more emphasis on your quadricep muscle. Whereas if you step back further, the further you step back, the more you're gonna place on your glutes, adductors. You can actually play with both of these types of movements and see which one is more comfortable for your mobility, whether that be your hip mobility or knee mobility. So for that reason, I do like the reverse lunge. And you can do these either one side at a time, or you can alternate them. Left side, right side, left side, right side. So that will also incorporate a little bit more balance. So that's up to you, but for sure, I would replace the forward stepping lunge with the reverse. Now, the other one I've talked about before, but that's a back squat, man. Typically, you wanna make sure you're doing some form of a squat movement when you're working your lower body. So a squat using the hip hinge is one of the key movement patterns you need to make sure that you're doing. However, now that you are older, you don't necessarily need to load up your spine. You don't need to get your arms all the way back there across the bar. That's the biggest issue with the back squat. Even someone like me who's been lifting for over 35 years, I can't really get the bar back comfortably because it puts a lot of stress on my shoulders. And the stronger your legs are, the more weight you need. So for me, the more weight I load up on my traps, it places way too much strain on my shoulders. I prefer to just eliminate the squats and go with more of a goblet squat. So I love doing goblet squats. I incorporate those into a lot of my plans. So the other benefit of doing a goblet squat is you can step wider, you can get a wider base, more of a sumo stance. And that's gonna allow you to sink a little bit deeper into the bottom of the movement. Now, the key to doing this correctly though, is not just bending at the knee first and coming straight down. You definitely wanna utilize that hip hinge. Basically just get your butt back slightly. As you start sinking back, then you start bending at the knee simultaneously. That's gonna be a lot more comfortable. Also, when you're holding a weight, keep it pinned against your chest or as close to your chest as you can, and then make sure your hands are stacked over your elbows. You wanna keep your elbows underneath, otherwise you're relying on your biceps to hold a lot of that dumbbell or kettlebell weight. You don't really wanna do that because your legs are gonna be a whole lot stronger than your biceps. And if the weight is too far out in front of you, your biceps are gonna give out prior to your quads or your hips getting stimulated enough, or even your glutes. So that's the thing with the goblet squat. You can step wider, more sumo, and you can go as deep as you can comfortably go. So you may not be able to go as deep as you're seeing me go here, but if you can go right at 90 degrees or even slightly above, whatever's comfortable for your hip mobility, then that's the key to it. Keep your core tight and braced as well when you're doing these. So the third movement, this has picked up a little bit more popularity, and it's a box jump, man. No need to do a box jump unless you're 40 or 50 years old and you're gonna be training for some type of athletic event. If you're still some type of athlete, man, and you feel like you need some more explosive power, then you can possibly do some just body weight style box jumps on a low box jump. But for 99.5% of you guys, you do not need to be doing these, all right? There are far too many risks involved with this exercise. And I would rather you, instead of doing a box jump, just doing a step up. You can still utilize the box, you can utilize a bench, whatever you have access to step up. And you can just do step ups with this. It's gonna give you more control. It's gonna allow you to keep that foot fixed in a specific position as well. So you're not misaligning your knee, because that's one of the biggest issues with box jumps. One misstep, one missed jump can either tear something in your knee, or it can just throw you off balance and create more injuries that you don't need to be dealing with as a man over 40. So for that reason, I will always say no to the box jumps and just go with the step ups. And for the step ups, just make sure that you are doing these under good, complete control in nice, good form as well. But there you have it, man. 3 of the worst leg exercises, and then 3 of the alternatives that you can do to get far better results. So thank you, man, for watching this video. As always, get busy, get after it, and God bless.